Take a seat, take a breath. Got a feed that decides life and death. Every chart is a mountain, a meme, a decree. Is this genius or mass lunacy? Scroll with me down this wild mentality, where a frog with sunglasses screams we're early endlessly. Oh, we'll see bulls and bears and fantasy. Every post's a prophecy.
It's nothing make-believe.
If you want to read what passes for a master plan, simply click and flick your thumb across this broken land. Want to know which way the winds of crypto might just be? Oh, scroll with me. One says up, only friends. Next says this is how it ends. Someone's calling the top, someone's buying the dip, someone's typing a thread as their last relationship slips. Scroll with me through the fear and ecstasy, where a charting crayon gets 1,000 hearts for free. You'll see every hot take, every plea. I was right in 23.
Trust the vine, ignore the spreadsheet.
If you want to gauge if hope or panic's in command, if they're building castles or just castles in the sand, want to test if we're all early or just fantasy? Scroll with me. Is it signal? Is it noise? Are we traders? Are we toys? Every candle, every coin is a cult you can join. Scroll with me, let the chaos be our key. Read the mood like it's a map to some great mystery. You'll see faith and doubt and harmony. I'm all into, I'm set free.
In one day, in one same tweet.
If you want to know if folks are brave or out of time, if they're quietly convicted or have simply lost their minds, then my friend, you found the perfect place to start this stream. So scroll with me.
Yada da da da. GM. Like the fucking microphone mosquito, baby. GM. My name is Dude Lifts. Welcome and congratulations. Now, but congratulations for being here. If you know, you know. But it is Friday, April 24th. You know what that means? That means that we're in the home stretch of April, and you know what that means. You know what I'm saying? But GM, good morning. My name is Dude Lifts. This is Scroll With Me. This is where you and I. Oh, we got Frey in the chat saying G Scroll, y'all. First off, G Scroll, victory. Second off, y'all, victory. If you're not typing y'all, what are you doing? What are you doing? Seriously. I grew up in the American South myself, y'all, part of my vocabulary. And does it show up in text messages and messages in personal and professional context? Yes. Yes, it does. But it's a big fan of y'all, big fan of the root of ye all, because us Southerners, we were just trying to imitate the aristocratic Englishmen, and we ended up sounding kind of dumb as a result. You know, because you got the aristocratic Englishmen who are just like, hello, governor. And then we were like, howdy, y'all. Howdy's a little more Texas. Okay, I'm crossing my wires here. I'm going to cut myself off before I get too far. But this is Scroll With Me. This is where you and I, us, we, the chat, we try to figure out what are the vibes on Twitter. We, try to figure out, what's going on, what's important, what's not, what did we miss? We've got Cooey in the chat with G Scroll. Also, how you can tell I'm from the American South. Get a little can of, get a little can of chaw, little little Kodiak, little wintergreen. I mean, wow, you guys are really seeing it this morning. But yeah, where we try to understand the vibes. If things are up good or down bad, we try to separate the true from the false. We also take this time in the morning. It's really a reflection period to address two of the three pillars of scrolling, which is caffeination and hydration. So, in the last bull run, they had to remind us to stay hydrated, and I'm really doing the same thing. That's really what that's my higher calling. That's my ikigai. But alas, let's begin to scroll. Let's see what is up, Kyle. All right. First off, we got the DSC, the Digital Spenders Club. Honestly, look at this. This is not AI, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm a big fan of Digital Spenders Club. I ordered a tour code from them. Vanglog in the chat saying G Scroll. Vanglog's a real one. But yeah. So, okay, this is Pudgy Penguins times Digital Spenders Club times the Shoe Surgeon. I've been saying it for weeks. No one is doing apparel and crypto like Digital Spenders Club. Pay attention. Did you pay attention? No, you did not. Pay attention now. Look at this shit. It's a custom UGG boot by the Shoe Surgeon. Come on. This shit's dope as hell. I think they did the one of one Luca boot. They did these as well. I actually don't know if there's a run or if these are one of ones. Regardless. Insane. Oh shit, I didn't even pick that. I didn't even pick this up until literally just now. That is a down puffer coat on the boot. That is insane. Stop. What? So you have the blue suede boot with its own down jacket. Come on. God. That is fucking sick. That's so sick. So there you go. And if you're wondering, wow, dude lifts, look at this. This is so cool. Have you talked to Digital Spenders Club? Because, you work for a really cool brand that has incredible apparel, has always made incredible shit, partnering with incredible people, making awesome shit. Of course I have. Who do you think I am? Come on. All right, let's continue. But yeah, DSC, things we love to see. All right, we've got Andrea Mealy here from BZ, Beyond Grateful, brick by brick to the first 100 million in volume. Vanglog says alpha. I don't know if it's BZ alpha or DSC alpha, but alpha nonetheless. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, BZ crew, been so cool to watch them and their journey. I was meeting with them when I was working with the Flow Foundation. I met with them weekly for like a year. Helping them, just support them as they grew their product, because they're a great team. They've got great instincts and they've done things, as they would say, they've done them the right way. And I definitely agree with that. Let's see here. Zier here says, I was today years old when I realized my Pokemon collection is worth more than the entire ports of your most notable KOLs on CT. Dude, not for long. I'm getting my Bubble Mew graded. Don't be judging my port. Okay. If that Bubble Mew comes back at PSA 10, then you and I will have words. Nah, I'm just kidding. But I mean, up 9,000. Wow. Incredible technology. Incredible technology. We've got Pudgy Penguins on Capitol Hill. Things we love to see. Things we love to see. Pumpcade mainnet audit. Bada boom. Dude, this is the alpha here. Pumpcade just launched their ACE round. I'm not sure exactly how the market responded to that. Let me give it a little peek. Imagine if he put a cash tag in every tweet that I could just click and we could look at the charts together. But I'm actually pulling it up on the side. Okay, market cap 22 million month. Okay. It's kind of like so it's up 134% on the month. Was just about to talk shit. Shouldn't have done that. So token is still up good, but I know the market didn't respond as favorably to the ACE round as people would have expected. But this is the alpha that they say is not on the timeline. He's telling you the mainnet audit begins on Monday, and it's scheduled to take 12 days. Come on. Come on. He's giving you the timeline here. Let's see here. We got with I always want to say Feige, like Kevin Feige, but I guess it's just Figgy. Figgy making a heavy push across the Spaces circuit this past week. Wanted to take some time to step back and digest the Yacht Club's new 3-pronged strategy he's outlined in almost every appearance. I'll have to give that a read. Very cool to see some new energy in the Bored Ape ecosystem. Very cool to see, because I follow a lot of those apes for a long time, and they've been holding it down for the Yacht Club for sure. For sure. Let's see here. Pay not reputable influencers 6 to 7 figures to shill and then close down within the same year. Hell of a run. Isn't that the truth? Hell of a run. All right, let's see here. And that's for those who want the context. Luck.io is closing down soon with a 4-leaf clover emoji. What the fuck? Oh, we are not a serious industry. All right, we've got Louis here. You know that we're fans of Louis here on the show. Let's give a little hydration. Remember the pillars. When I started making videos in tech, it felt so lonely. I felt like the only person screaming at the top of my lungs. Now people who don't even make videos are selling them. This feels like a subtweet. No, no, but Louis is an artisan of the craft. So big fan of his work. Modern payments from first principles. Yes, tech people using the term first principles. They love first principles. Oh, I fucking love first principles. But straight up, holy, how many followers do you have? 50,000? I mean, I can, as someone who's exchanged words with the Twitter handles marketplace at the highest echelon, old Nick or Josh or whoever he is, who told me that at lifts would probably be 6 to 7 figures. I can only imagine how much they paid for @fun, and I respect it. All right, we've got Master Printer here saying, I don't think anyone is pricing in the quality and growth of the printer ecosystem. I agree. Oh my gosh. Dude, this is what I was saying yesterday. Okay, so Serpent Tax here from Ethos is saying, man, Bread really slipped in a Gunnar app as the final app to kickstart the Mega TGE. Unbelievable. Expect no less from someone with a history of pictures on X. If you know, you know. But this is what I was saying yesterday. The app that was decentralized companions. I was like, no way, dude. Like, dude. I mean, there is a market for it. I guess I'm not here to yuck your yum, you know. All right, let's see here. MetaMask trolling you guys so bad and you kept falling for it. Yes, that's what I just said. I said this yesterday. That's MUSD. This has like been open knowledge. Like they tweet a picture of a token. Everyone's like drooling over themselves. I'm like, this is MetaMask USD. Always has been. It's been out for many, many, many months. MetaMask USD has been live as far as I know. My first interaction with it was at the MetaMask Doodles event, July of last year. So it's been over a year. So I don't know. I'm like, tell me you're not tapped in without telling me you're not tapped in. That's what I'm saying. You saw this and said MetaMask token. What you doing? Should have consulted Sheboygan. Just saying. Oh my gosh, the hairdryer guy. I wasn't sure if this is a real video or if this is AI, but I respect it either way. Apparently, the story is that he short-circuited this temperature monitor that influenced a weather market, which I respect. Yo. Whoa, the Woody Crocs go crazy. Oh my gosh. And the claw. Yes. God, those boots are nuts. I need those boots. The whole world should use a 1.6 trillion model for free. Dude, yes. I saw. Okay, so yeah, apparently DeepSeek V4 preview So good, so good. I need to check this out. So it's a 1.6 trillion parameter model, 49 billion active parameters. Okay, so there's no way in hell I'm running that on my machine. Okay, cool. I had high hopes because LM Studio retweeted them. It was like, oh, like I wonder if I'll do that. No, JK. Babe, we can't afford the checks cracks concierge patch. Damn. Crack concierge? Did you know that MetaMask has a travel rewards portal? Things I learned. Okay. This is where we are right now. I'm not going to lie. It feels pretty magical. Qwen 3.6, 27 billion running inside Pi Coding. Okay. This is so interesting. So I have Qwen 3.6. I think it's 35 billion running on my studio. And one of the experiments I'll probably end up doing this weekend, because right now I have Kimi 2.6 as the orchestrator agent. Sorry, getting way too nerdy. But I'm thinking about cutting that off and just seeing how Hermes agent runs purely locally, because it hasn't been an experiment I've done yet. So we'll see. Did Sergito finishing the Ironman? Grats. Let's see, dude. Let's give a little refresh. We need a little freshy timeline. Wow, we've been scrolling for 20 minutes. Pudgy Penguins IRL coming up, NYC and Canada. Sick. Oh, in Vancouver. Oh, hell yeah. Yo, put in the international date format. Yeah, thanks. We love to see. All right, serious question to the NFT bros. What expensive NFTs can you buy with a $200 size port? So funny. Oh, dude. Look at this. We got the Noggles in the chat. Dude, RIP to Nouns. And they're 100% not dead. I think there's more expensive, but people are calling the experiment dead. So not sure what's going on there. Leap says your fuck ups will not be remembered. Only the bangers. So just start trying shit. Honestly. And it's never been more true on the it's never been more true than in the crypto industry. Seriously. People have committed fucking crimes and they do like one cool thing. So everyone's like, we like that guy. I've always liked him. I've always liked that guy. All right, you asked for it. We listen. The official Pudgy Penguin sales bot is live. Follow the Pengu sales bot. That's cool. I guess interesting. I wonder what the advantage of an official sales bot is, because there's like 2 or 3 Doodle sales bots. And part of the interesting component was that they were unofficial in the sense that like you could just build stuff in Web3 because it's composable. Granted, I say that, I guess kind of tongue in cheek, because one of the things that Doodles has always tried to do is kind of like vertically integrate their stack to control the experience, i.e. like the studio. Interesting. And I'm not saying that this is it at all, but like, since people are kind of like focusing on Web3 and NFTs right now, I wonder how much this stuff is like signaling, which is fine. Honestly, if your community is like, hey, we want official sales bot, and you could spin that up in half a second, probably with Claude, I guess what's the harm in that? So why not? Why not? Dude, buying a coffee couldn't be easier with Cast. I wouldn't know. Never tried. But I did buy a coffee with my MetaMask card. Not sponsored by MetaMask. BT dubs. BT dubs. Yeah. Dude, I just went fully nonverbal for a second. And for that, I apologize. We're going to give it a little refresh of the timeline here. Oh, my God. Nikita! We'll try our best here. We'll try our best to mine some fresh tweets. Okay. Andrew Fortes here. Andrew Fortes, her says everyone in crypto pivoted to AI. Maybe they were right. The AI products are taking over. Chance has created a tool that trades for you on Polymarket. Execute your ideas. I don't know who Chance is, but okay. Monty's got a good question here. Monty says, what's the honest catalyst for the recent attention to Web3? If we're back, how are we different? I've seen a lot of interesting takes on this. There's someone, and I'm not going to be able to give them credit here, but you know who you are. There's this gentleman who's basically been calling out that like all the quote unquote like farming competitions are essentially done. And that includes, I think, OpenSea for trading. And so that person proposed that kind of more organic volume and price discovery would occur at that point. So that's a theory as to why maybe some of the prices are pumping. I have a slightly more pessimistic view. So there is a part of me that thinks that some like I'm trying to think of a way to put it. I don't think this is the case. This is a very dicey thing to say. I think it has kind of appeared to me. I'm like, if you don't have a lot of else going on, then you can go like, oh, okay, hey, let's like focus on this thing. Now, I don't think that's what Bored Apes and Pudgy is doing. Bored Apes seems to have a very calculated approach. They're doing these IRL meetups. They're kind of like getting back to like what made them special. And so that's where I think you'll see a lot of copycats of that, of people go like, we're focusing on Web3 now. Like, and it's like, well, you weren't doing anything before. So like, of course you are. Like, I don't think that's the case for some of these larger projects. But I would say be wary of that. People trying to like pump their bags by saying like, we're focusing on Web3 now. It's like, okay. I think why we're seeing what we're seeing, and I think Apes is a good case study, is like they're leaning into their unfair advantage. What always made them special. I don't think this is a contentious thing to say. I don't think anybody sits here and goes like, oh my gosh, the artwork on Bored Apes, oh, so good. I don't think anybody says that. They may like think like the traits are interesting because they're rare or whatever. The concept behind a Bored Ape is interesting. The storytelling is interesting, but it's not like, oh my gosh, like fine art or anything like that. So I think they're leaning into their unfair advantage was always, and I think funny enough, what is it? Illa, the producer, said something. He said kind of like talking about being the Illuminati, a secret club, like the clubhouse, like that's always been their kind of unfair advantage is they're a cool kids club. And so they're leaning into that as they should be. I think that's probably the right thing to do. Matthias is the advantage first to market. I don't know what context you're asking that in. I mean, Bored Apes was not the first ever NFT. But if you're talking about like first one to lean back into Web3, maybe, for example, and I think Doodles is doing that with their, with the artwork, with the IP, with the imagery, like that amongst many other things. And I'm not saying this exclusively, but like that is the unfair advantage for Doodles is like that Doodles exists at the intersection of art and technology and dominates that space. And it's doing it again. I think Pudgy Penguins, maybe the kind of meme plus the community, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I couldn't speak to their unfair advantage. Exactly what I'd be curious to hear what they think their unfair advantage is. But yeah, and something interesting too, like I think, I'm trying to think of the way to put this. Like I responded to a message from Loki the other day, and he was like, NFTs, are inevitable. No one's saying digital collectibles are inevitable. And he was talking about the nomenclature. And I was like, I said, it's kind of silly to focus on the nomenclature because it doesn't matter. That's like saying like MP3s are back. You know what I mean? Like in a few years, nobody will say that. No, not a single person like will say that. And so I think traders are just feel good that they're being paid attention to. Maybe might be a good way to put it, that they're being thought about. I put out an article a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about what if NFTs were nothing more than collectibles? In a worst case scenario, what if the company behind them stopped supporting them entirely, stopped giving a fuck about them, right? And some company was just like, I'm going to do Web 2. I'm shutting down the Discord. I don't want to look at the community ever again. I was like, that's the worst case scenario. What would happen? And I proposed in that article that even in that case, if that company was successful, the collectibles would appreciate in value. But I found that NFT traders have a tough time making that two-step connection. So they need to be addressed on a one-step connection. Say like, hey, NFT traders, we're doing this for you right now. Market seems to respond really well to that. If you get any farther beyond that, it doesn't seem to translate very well. So, yeah, I don't know. That's been my experience. But it is 8:58. You know the vibes. Let's get one more. Let's get one more tweet. Let's give a little refresh. Let's see what we do here. People don't want to talk about floors. People want to talk about ceilings. Vibe shift. Yeah, so this is something that Cyrus involved. Very cool. So yeah, this is another example is like Yuga is now facilitating this OTC desk. I actually really love that they're taking a cut. That's awesome. So it's like a revenue moment for the company. I think that's great, especially on their higher tier item. It's honestly pretty brilliant. Which reminds me, I was shopping for doodles last night with Miss Doodlifts. We were looking around. There's only 250 doodles. It's like 2.3% or less. Maybe it's 0.02. I'm not even sure the exact math off the top of my head. But I have like 10,000. There's like 200 doodles listed. I'm like, we're trying to find something. Y'all aren't giving us much. I'm not going to say list your doodles. But, you know, it's tough out here shopping. And so maybe that's a reflection of this kind of broader kind of movement here. So yeah, I think that's very cool. I think it's very cool. So I would love to talk about this more. Maybe we can have like a spaces or something. Well, I mean, it'll be at the NFT spaces on Sunday this weekend. So maybe we'll talk about it more there, but a lot of really interesting discussion around it right now. But with that said, it is almost 9 a.m., 8:59 a.m. You know the vibes. It is Friday, April 24th. My name is Dude Lifts. This has been Scroll With Me. We have discerned the truth in the false. We have separated the wheat from the chaff. So until next time,